Okay, welcome to this Friday evening gathering, Friday evening event. Oh, one person just left. Um, with people who have been active in international projects that Mladinski Centar Trbovlje, or now Zavod za mladino in šport Trbovlje, organized in the past and is still organizing. So I would first like to welcome all our participants that had the courage to join us today. Hello, Fatima. Hello, Chila, and hello, Anea. We've been active, our organization has been active in this international projects field for more than 20 years. And in this time, we organized a lot of youth exchanges. We hosted more than 90 EVS volunteers, or now volunteers of European Solidarity Corps, and some other projects. And for the beginning, I would like you to shortly introduce yourself, maybe just in a few words, and tell which project were you involved, and maybe some words about your experience. So who would like to start? Maybe Fatima? Can I invite you?
Okay, hello everyone, and thanks Katarina for inviting me, and it's really nice to see you all again, even if it's online and via Zoom. And my name is Fatima Mahmutovic. I'm coming from Bosnia, and I was part of European Solidarity Project almost 2 years ago, it will be now. And I was participating in a project that was called Solidarity Invasion, and it started in October in 2019, and it's supposed to last till July in 2020. But then because of COVID, I had to finish my project earlier. What I can say, it was really great experience for me, and it changed me in a lot of ways. And most of my friends say to me, even my family, since I was back from Slovenia, that I changed in some way. And I opened my views, and I started to see things in different way. And it also helped me to get out of my comfort zone and also to meet other cultures. And I can say that on this project, I really met my friends. And what also happened, it was the first time that in this project, I started to work online, because I finished my project working online. So it was also kind of my first experience to do the home office. And it also showed me that you can even work from home and still be productive and creative. So for me, in general, it was a really great experience. And I'm just sad because I didn't have opportunity to finish it there in Trbovlje in Slovenia for all 9 months. But the 6 months I have spent there, they were really, really great. And I learned a lot. So that's for the beginning.
Thank you, Fatima.
I hope it's enough for the beginning.
Sure, yeah. Okay, Chila, can you continue, please? What was your experience?
My name is Chila, and I come from Romania. And yes, the first project I actually participated was a youth exchange. And the youth exchange was hosted by MCT then. And yes, it was about creative writing. And that was the first time for me I got some information about volunteering projects, and I got really, really interested in. And then I decided to go back. I mean, I kept in touch with one of the youth workers there, and yes, I heard about upcoming projects, and that's how I went back, I think around 1 year later after the youth exchange. And yes, and then I spent 1 year at the youth center, and I was doing my voluntary service there. I was involved in the activities of the youth center, and I was helping out, organizing them with the other volunteers as well.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Can we continue with Anea?
Yes, of course. So actually, just to sum up my experience with international work, everything that I did happened in Târboulea, in my hometown.
So far.
So far, I didn't really go far, but I was able to meet a lot of people from different countries. First, I participated by writing an exchange together with Katarina and Janja, Breaking Beauty Standards, that happened in October 2019. And that was my first experience with youth exchanges or any type of youth work, I would say. And at first I was like, am I really going to something that's happening in my hometown? And in the end, it was like a very, very amazing experience, because even though I was at home, I didn't feel like I was at home. I was surrounded by Greeks, Maltese, and Bosnians. And I really, really liked this first connection. So I decided to continue, actually. And I continued, or it was somehow mixed together. I became a mentor to a group of girls at that time that came to Târboulea, Fatima included. So I was there, like a connection between them and the coordinator. So I was their Slovenian friend. And I also enjoyed that. So I decided to go to another exchange, which happened to be like a city 40 minutes away from Târboulea. So far, so good. And yeah, that's basically what I have experienced so far. But I did write another exchange that were supposed to happen into 2020, but didn't because of Corona. So that's still on the table. And I have a wish to participate in European Solidarity Corps, like a volunteer project, and go somewhere. Not just be in my hometown, but go, like, experience. And yeah, hopefully that happens soon.
Thank you, Anaya, also for your short presentation and insight into your experience. Now, I would kindly invite you to do one activity with me. So in the chat, I will post you the link to a Jamboard. I don't know if you have ever tried this thing or not, but I will show you how the thing is working. You click the link, and then I will now share my screen so you can see how the thing is working. Okay. I hope you all see this page in front of you, where you have an option to write something, either to post something, to draw something, or to share your photo. So now, for the beginning, I would like you to post here a funny photo or meme that describes your international experience. And how you do it, you click here on the left to add a photo. And then there is an option of Google search, where you can simply search some photos and then post it here in the document. So now I will give you a few minutes to find a funny photo that describes your experience, and then I will ask you to share something of why did you choose this photo. I chose this one that you can see in the middle of the page, because for me it was something like that. If you'll have any problems with accessing photos or anything, just let me know. I'll try to help.
I have a problem. I cannot access the link because I'm on my phone and it requires me to download an application. But yeah, I cannot be there.
Ah, okay. No problem. I'm trying to figure out how we can solve this, but yeah, on the phone it's probably more difficult. Then I will just ask you to describe it without a photo. Okay, so we have another photo. Whose photo is that?
If it's a hug, group hug, then it's mine.
Yeah, group hug. Okay, and we have another photo.
That's
One
mine.
little guy. Yeah. Okay. So I ask you to share with us why did you choose this photo and how it describes your feelings about the experience. Can we start with Anea?
Yes. So basically, on my first exchange, I am a bit of a hugger, to be honest. And on my first exchange, I was participating. I kind of got 23 people to hug me all the time. And also to hug, to hug each other, to hug me and have a group hug. Like that was one of the basics of our exchange, this physical touch.
That must have been quite some hugs.
Yes. There was, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Anea. How about you, Fatima?
I posted these two pictures, the boy and the train. I posted the train because in Bosnia I didn't used to travel or use train, and then I started doing that in Slovenia. And so it's a bit reminding me about that, and it's also reminding me about the all the trips and traveling that I did with my roommates that were on the same project as me. So I chose that picture, and this one is like showing my happiness and how you say, excitement for everything that happened there. And I can say this first picture of the boy is how was I feeling in the beginning when I came and everything. So I was also a bit scared and afraid, but I think that this one won, that I was so excited because it was really something new for me. So yeah, this is why I have chose these two, the train and the boy.
Nice, thank you. Thanks for your insight. Okay, Chila, since you have a problem with the technical stuff, can I ask you to shortly describe what kind of photo would you choose if you would search? How is that connected with your experience?
Yes, so if I would have to choose a photo, probably I would choose a photo where people are holding each other's hands somehow, and there would be a lot of people. So yes, that the explanation of this is that on my project, I really experienced some very nice connections, and yes, I got to meet a lot of people from Terboje and from other European countries. And what I remember, like we had so many great conversations, and exchanging experiences and realizing that we are connected to each other. Yes, so yeah, after couple of years, like when I think about that experience, yeah, the connections is what stay until today, and it's really nice to from time to time to have a chat conversation with people I met there, and even to meet up sometimes. Yes.
Thank you. It's nice to hear that you still are connected to the people that you met on your project or in the country where you live. But if we can now move to the time when you were deciding on whether to join it, whether to do that, whether to take the step, did you have any doubt? What was going on in your mind before you decided to join a project or to start something? Can we start with you, Chila?
Yes, of course. So I think so. As I said, my first project I participated as like in all my life was this exchange about creative writing, and that was after studying literature. So I was very much interested in it, and I was expecting to get accepted. I didn't have any doubts about going there. And then after, like, I had a very nice, even though youth exchanges are only like last only 1 week, 10 days, something like this. Don't remember how long was it, but yes, I met there. I met a lot of new cultures for me and people from different countries, and that was a very outstanding point, you know, like yeah. And after that, I wanted to experience that more, and that's how I was waiting to go there, and I didn't have any doubt.
You weren't afraid to go for a year to a foreign country to live there by yourself?
No, not really. I wasn't afraid, because it's also part of the story, you know, like as studying literature, I read about the world and the people and everything in books, you know, and I was thinking, like, I must see everything I read about, I must experience it by myself. And yeah, I was really open to go.
That's really courageous. Like, when I think that if I was supposed to go somewhere for a year, I would probably like scared for, I don't know, a few time and had my doubts and how am I going to do it. So that's like really something that that you weren't afraid at all, and that's all you could experience, like anticipation to experience it live, all the things that you've read. Yeah. How about you, Fatima? Were you scared?
Yes, I was scared really, and especially because I didn't know nothing about European Solidarity Corps till that moment. I know about Erasmus and everything, and when I was a student, I always wanted to do an exchange. But then I thought, okay, I'm too young, I'm not ready for that, I will be scared. And then I realized, okay, if I didn't have opportunity while I was studying, maybe this was a time to use it and to see how is it. So at the beginning, I was really scared because, okay, Slovenia is near Bosnia, but still it's a different country. And then also the persons that you're supposed to live, like you don't know them, it's a different culture and everything. But then I said to myself that I had to try it, that I have to leave that fear behind me. And then I said to myself, okay, you are going, and that's it. After that, I didn't thought if I'm afraid, what could happen. I would just say you are going there, and then you will see what will happen, because you will never know how it will be if you don't try. So that's what I said to me. And then I came, and it was really nice.
What helped you to get rid of these doubts and this fear?
Yeah, I read about a bit about the project. I read about the Bovje and everything, and also I got to know the roommates before. They made like kind of a group on WhatsApp, and then we shared our fears and everything. So I saw that they're also kind of scared, and that we're all going to do something is going to be the same, and that there are going to be my friends and my family in that period. So that encouraged me, because knowing that I'm not going to be alone, that I will have friends, people there that I will meet. And also one of my friends from Sarajevo, she told me, like, you should try like Sarajevo and everything will be here waiting for you, but that's like opportunity and you should use it. So also I had another person that encouraged me to do it. So I think that was the thing that made me do it. And also myself, when I say to myself that I'm going to do it, then I will probably.
Nice. Thank you, Fatima. How about you, Anaya? I remember before starting this youth exchange and before starting the whole process of writing, you came to me one day and you said, okay, I'm really eager to help you with the organization, but I'm not like a people person. I'm not really like into people, into meeting, into this stuff, you know? So I was like, yeah, okay, no problem. How did that change so quickly?
Yeah, I was very I didn't consider myself like as a youth leader, because I was actually on my first exchange as half of a team of youth leaders. You know, I was not just a participant. And I was like, I'm not good with people, you know, in general. I can help with organizing stuff, and but I'm not good. I'm not going to do the workshops and anything. And well, now it happens that I work at a place with young people. Fast forward 2 years later, due to the situation, I don't work in my field of studies anymore. I work in, another one attendee. And I actually do that for my work. Yeah, so I actually completely left biomedicine. So yeah.
What helped you get rid of this fear and of these doubts before your first project?
Yeah, I was always in like a comfort zone. I realized I was just in one place doing one thing only, you know, nothing new. Everything new that was new was just like scary for me, and I just decided on my own that I'm not good at that and I'm not going to do that. And I was kind of like thrown into water, and then I realized I actually enjoy it very much. And yeah, so I continue to work in this field, like in as a job and in private. Like I cannot seem to forget about it, to put it that way. So yeah, it helped me expand my knowledge and grew as a person. So yeah.
Nice.
To work in abroad.
And if you think of doing your, I don't know, maybe in the future of doing your European Solidarity Corps project somewhere, are you afraid?
Actually, I was in Finland for 3 months during my university years. It was not as European Solidarity Corps. I would say it was harder because I did not have the support. I did not have anyone there. I was on my own. So basically it took me a year to prepare and half a year to manage after those 3 months. So actually, no, I don't believe I would be as scared as I was then, but it's always that feeling of, you know, anxiety combined with happiness. So hopefully I get to go at least for like a couple of months.
Cool. Thank you. I hope your wish comes true as soon as possible.
Yeah. Thank you.
In the meantime, also Mirsat and Vanessa joined us. If you are with us, feel free to comment anytime you feel, or if you would like to share something also with us, you're also welcome, or ask anyone. Otherwise, yeah, I would like to ask you, like, what was the most, I don't know, surprising thing about the project or about some project that you participated? What was different? What was something that you didn't expect but then happened, for example? It can be either positive or negative.
Can I say?
Sure.
Because I'm like a little bit late for this event, and I'm sorry. I said that I'm going to be here, but from the start, but
no problem.
I had some job around the house. Yes, for me it was being to after the project that I enrolled into the masters, and it was crazy how it was. It's like when I say to people that after the project I enrolled into masters, and then I'm like doing this master stuff, and they really cannot believe, like, how is it, like you were like doing that on purpose, you know, you were going there for the masters, but no, like it was just going for a project and staying for the masters. So it was like it's like a perfect combination of like this storm of this things that happened, and I landed in that direction, and of course I stayed there.
Nice, thank you. How about you, girls? Fatima?
Yeah, for me, the only negative thing, and it really surprised me, was Corona. I just have to say, really, because I never expected that a pandemic would happen on my project. That, like, I just remember the last day and the fear that I had, all you had, my roommates had, and I just, like, I couldn't, I never imagined that that would happen, that I will just leave, like, for one day, that without saying goodbye to anyone, that they will start to shut borders and everything, and then I will just come home and be, like, isolated for 14 days. And then I think that was, like, the most negative thing that happened to me, and something, like, I'm just sad about it. It's not so negative, I'm just sad about it. Like, I feel that it changed all of my plans and everything. So I think that was the most negative thing that really, like, occurred. But then also the positive thing is that we could manage to finish it till the end, even if it was working online. So at the end, I did finish it. Yeah, but not as I wished to finish it. So that's the negative thing for me.
Thank you, Fatima.
And surprising also.
Hi, Vanessa. Nice to see you again after a really long time. I've met Vanessa also in this seat exchange that Anea was a part of, and also Mirsad was a part of. What are we talking about? I don't know if you heard us or not. It's about this participating in European projects. What was something that was different than expected at the beginning, like in either positive or negative way? So I know that you've been active in this international field for quite some time. Do you have any of those experience? Like, did something change completely? Was something completely different than what it was before you started doing it?
I have to say that whatever experience I do with European projects, it's always different but amazing. And that's the reason why I continue writing projects, even though I curse myself why I get into these projects, you know. But because the application form and writing projects is a very lengthy procedure. But I always think about what the outcome can be, not just for myself, but for the young people that are going to participate to it. It is it's a unique experience that I think very few other structures other than the European programs can offer. The richness that it can offer, even in collaborating, sharing ideas, learning about how different people live their lives in their country and so on, is just mind-blowing sometimes, you know. I just remember when I had a training for youth leaders in Poland, and I met other youth leaders, and just listening to them, their life experiences, their experiences with doing projects and so on. There's always something to learn, something to experience in itself, you know, through the eyes of others. So I think that is something consistent, I have to say. What is changed is the experience with COVID, you know, this continuous postponing of projects. You don't know, there's so much insecurity, and so that's what really I think it's the most difficult, probably, moment, just saying you have worked for a long time on this project and you don't know what is going to happen. But I did have positive experience because I'm support. UTIM is acting as a supporting organization for a volunteer who is currently in Italy, and despite COVID, she is making the most out of her experience. and the creativity and the ideas that she's managing to get out, you know, and doing online activities or small activities in the community. Somehow, despite the limitations, it can also open a door. And the possibility of to think differently, you know. And this is something I'm also seeing with current projects. There's more blending of an experience, you know, the online experience and having a face-to-face experience later on. And probably is the best of both worlds, you know, because being online gives you the flexibility, but not the full experience. But at the same time, it helps you to get on, to move on, and still do something despite the situation. So yeah, it's been quite a ride, I have to say. And me and Anaya know it very well. We've been postponing a project now for 2 years. And it's been very frustrating for us and disappointing in a way, but we look forward for what is coming.
Nice. Thank you, Vanessa, for the
You're welcome. Thank you
also.
Sorry?
Thank you for your insight also from the other side, like from being a coordinator and coordinating and helping these young people to get their first or their next experience.
Yeah, and thanks for inviting me. I'm sorry I'm late as well, but I was out with my daughter, and I won't speak too much because she's near me and she has her tablet on. So
thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so Cila, you had the chance to experience some projects before this challenging times that we have, and now you're also in one European project in this time. What would you say that, like, what was different than you expected in those projects, either in your previous ones or now in this one that you're currently in?
Yes, the first thing I would like to say to the topic is that I didn't really expect, you know, like after my first project to get so much addicted to this. Like, I mean, like I'm always, when it's finishing one, I am always looking for another one. So it's like, yes, I just want to always meet new people and new cultures and get to know more and more. And yes, I also like now, yes, I'm in Germany doing another voluntary service, and this time I am working with another group of people, with disabled people, and this one is also very, very nice. I learn a lot of things about culture, people, communication, and other stuff. And yes, maybe like now I didn't expect that I have this project in Corona times, you know, and I had to get used to different things, different style of life, basically. And yes, in the beginning I was very maybe annoyed of not being able to experience it as it normal, you know, we couldn't do so many things, but even though, yeah, it was nice. I mean, even though there were Corona times, I had the chance to be in another country. I had the chance to be able to learn day to day, to learn a new language and stuff. Yes, it's really nice.
Cila, how about you, Anaya?
Yeah.
Well, for me, actually, I did not anticipate for that project to be longer than that week I was there. I'm talking about the exchange, and then I make some really genuine connections, and I still keep them, even though I met, for example, Vanessa only once. We are in constant contact since October 2019, and we only met like one time in Valletta in Malta, and that was it. And it's like I feel I have a big sister in Malta, you know, and I also feel like I have a little sister in Sarajevo, for example. And yeah, so these genuine connections, you know, I always anticipate, yeah, you go, you spend like a week with people, you keep in contact for a month too, and that didn't happen. Like the connections are still there, like year after, even in quarantine, even in that, you know, like, and I cannot wait to visit all the places. So yeah, that was very positive and interesting part of the program.
That you didn't expect to happen.
No, I did not. Yeah. No.
So these are the side effects of all these connections, of all this happening that happens during European projects, whether it should be European Voluntary Corps or voluntary service or EVS or whatever it's called, or youth exchanges or other stuff. But besides that, you don't only have a big sister in Malta, a small sister in Sarajevo. You also have another connection that's also here in Bosnia. How would you comment on this side effects of this European project? Because we all know it happens, you know, we have several success stories.
Several.
Did you expect that you will meet your partner during the European project?
No, I did not expect that to happen at all. Yeah, that was a very positive side effect. That was actually, even if I kind of anticipated to have friendships, I did not expect getting a +1 out of it. Absolutely not.
Did you expect it, Mirsad?
No, I was not. No, really, I was not. So it was one of the plus benefits of that. But it happens a lot from what I've heard and what I've read. It happens in a lot of cases when people go out abroad and they meet their partners, or they get in a relationship. So it's really nice, you know. It's really nice. One of the positive things of all of that, all of these EU projects, short or long term, whatever.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we know a lot of such cases, of such happy endings. Also with ending with EVS families or youth exchange families or Erasmus Plus babies. So yeah, it happens a lot actually. How did this participation in this European project changed you as a person, or changed your view of the world, if we can say that? Because some changes definitely do happen, as we already heard, like a lot of things changed. What would you say? How did you change in this project, after this project, actually?
It's a question for me, or?
It's a question for everyone, but you can start, yes.
Okay. Well, it's like, yeah, you become open-minded. It's something that I think everybody becomes more open-minded, open for new people, and it's one of the biggest things that you learn is to respect people, to respect differences, and to learn from those differences. And that was the biggest the biggest change that really brought some positivity for me. And the other stuff, it depends where you land, you know, where do you go, you know. If you have some stereotypes about the country or something else, you know, you break those stereotypes, or you confirm it, or you are like, but it's for me is that openness.
Thank you, Mirsad. How about the others? Fatima?
Yeah, I can also agree with Mirsad. It's definitely open-minded, and it also showed me that how is to live somewhere else. I mean, I lived before without my parents and without home, but it was in the same country and like 2 hours from my hometown. But this one like really showed me like how is it to live in completely another country, that you can also assimilate. As Mr. said, you get to know some habits, you get to know the culture, and I don't know, I think just you are different. Like I think it's that open-minded, and then you meet another people, you make the connections, and I don't know, it just makes you like kind of not like better person, and maybe you're not so closed like other young people that didn't have that opportunity, that still have some stereotypes and prejudice about a lot of things. So I think it's about that. It also made you like a lot of, you can change your culture views and the views of the world. And for me, it showed me that I can live abroad, that I can assimilate. And even if you don't live in your country, still you can have friends and everything, and still it can feel like your home. So it like changed me in that way. So I think I will not be afraid ever again to go somewhere else and start to live by my own. So I think it was about that.
Thank you, Fatima.
Welcome.
Tila, would you agree with Mirsad and Fatima on the topic?
Yes, I would also agree. It definitely made me more open-minded on my first project and then the next ones. And somehow I would also say that, for example, it helped me to deal better with people and to make my social skills better in general. You know, like maybe I know better how to approach a person. I have to start to talk to them, and if you have problems of acceptance, for example, or yes, it definitely helps, and that's maybe a process also. And yeah, and yes, this now like I hear so many languages in a day, so sometimes I have problems to remember words, but yes, like it makes me very open to learn new things, you know, and I somehow it becomes a need to have new information, to just to learn. Yes.
So your life actually really quite changed after your first 2 projects, and actually after this one as well.
Yes, it changed. Yes, after my first project, I wanted to learn to get to know new cultures, and I went to different countries. Then I was already in Spain and France, and now in Germany. I'm doing a long-term voluntary service. It's more than a year I am here. Yes, it's really nice. Yes, and I definitely don't have, yes.
Did you expect something like that could happen before you decided to join your first youth exchange?
No, not really. Before my first exchange, as I was at a point in my life where I just finished my studies, and I really didn't know what to do afterwards, you know. And yes, I never would have expected that to live in so many countries, and yes.
Nice, thank you. How about you, Anea? How would you say that you've changed after those international experience that you've had?
One of my friends said to me something that's kind of stuck with me through all this time, and like she told me, how to put it, like after the project, I think I developed empathy more, deepen it, and to the point that I didn't really notice it, but one of my friends came to me and said, "Oh, the ice queen is melting." So yeah, I began that journey into that field, which was very, for some people, I would say, much more known that it was for me. So I became more open, I became more empathic, which is a good plus. And yeah, that kind of helped me grow as a person, you know, to realize that the world does not revolve around me, you know. So yeah, that in that way, it's funny maybe to say, because if I take a look at myself 2 years ago, it's like I am completely different person. So yeah.
Would you like, would Anea 2 years from 2 years ago imagine to just I don't know, not work in the field that you've been studying for?
No, probably Anea from 2-3 years ago would at the moment be doing a PhD just to prove she can. In a field that she understands but does not completely like, just to prove a point. So yeah, that didn't happen.
But some other stuff like evolved from this
Yeah,
participation in European projects.
yeah, I now choose myself over the stressful situation. I don't really yeah, it was very interesting experience, you know, to help me see the world very differently than I was used to, away from the analytical view that we have, like, who are studying in science usually, you know, like gave it the colors, or how would I say.
And also you got inspired by participating in this international project to continue doing that also in your professional life now with your new job.
Yeah, which
that's
happened.
Also like an important side effect of all this.
Yeah, also I got the idea for the job from Katarina.
Well, I'm not here like a Mother Teresa for good ideas, but thanks for thinking of me as of one of your mentors. Vanessa, how did your involvement in this European field changed? How did you change during all this time participating in different European projects?
I gave it some thoughts, and I think my identity as a European citizen. Malta is a small country. I don't know if everyone knows about Malta, but the first time I participated to such projects, you realized how closed and small we are. And then you're there meeting so many different people from different religions and perspectives and life stories. And you're part of all this, you know, you're working for a common thing, for exploring and discussing a common theme. So being European for me has become part of my identity. I'm pretty sure it's because of these experiences, and quite frankly, with projects as well, I did experience some frustrations. For example, the European Solidarity Corps that we hosted, we had problem with the residential permit and so on. And I was really frustrated because, no, you know, it should be easy. We're the same, you know, and I no longer see differences, although they are still there, even in legal terms and bureaucratic terms. So I think that helped me open my heart, my mind, just as you mentioned, and the possibilities and my dreams. quite honestly. So it was a big change. I'm sure that I would not be the person who I am today with the knowledge and the experience that I have accumulated along the years if I did not participate to such projects. So I feel I'm blessed.
It's really nice to hear that. How about the others? Do you also feel more connected, like to, I don't know, either to this European idea or to the idea that the world is not as big as we think it is, and that we're actually a part of this bigger picture, like a part of this bigger family, a worldwide family? If anyone wants to comment on that.
I would just say yes. Yes.
How about Chila, Fatima, Mirsat? How about you? Do you still think the world is like big and distances are long and it's impossible to go on the other side of the world, or did that change with
I guess the perspective of that did change in that sense, that it's so easy to connect with people who are totally in different continents, in different different geographic areas in the world where you would think that you could never live, and it's so easy to get to know that people, and to realize that you are living in that type of world where you can meet. If you were living like 100 years ago or 200 years ago, it would be impossible to meet someone from Asia or whatever. You would need to travel for months or even years to meet someone in China or America or in Africa. And now it's like world is such a small place that you can meet all of those people in one place, or in couple of hours of flying you could be in reach of them. So even though the differences between the distances between Bosnia and Slovenia are not that big, we were, even before, throughout the history, we were in the same countries throughout the history. But the me living there, it's like it showed like how small it is, like how it easy to go from A to B and to start a life there. And it's like, so you just have to have this drive to want this drive to explore. And if you have that, it's I think we are living in that type of world, minus the pandemics that happened. But when this finishes, and I hope this finishes by the end of the year, I think that world will return in that order as it was in 2019, where we were like, it was so easy to travel, so easy to meet people, so easy to make connections and opportunities. And so I'm hoping for that. And yes, I'm saying it is, in that sense, for me, it's like world has become a little bit smaller place, and something that it's not, I don't have that great distances, something that's far away, unreachable. I have that feeling that, I could easily go now and meet someone in India, on some spot, like, you want to meet in Mumbai, or like, yes, why not? It's like, I'll be there tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Mirsat. How about the others? Do you also have this feeling that you could be in India the next day and meet someone?
Probably yes. And also because of social media, it makes everything more easier. And now we can see how other people live in other places, and we can have the will to also live like that. So I think it's more easier now, and we are more connected than we used to be. And I hope that we'll be more connected after all of this will be over. But I also think it's about the perspective of the people, how much you read, how much you travel. And of course, if you travel more, visit more places more, that you will be more open and see the world as one place, but for those who didn't have that opportunity, I think it's still, they think it's like a huge distance. So I think it also depends of the perspective of the persons, but I think yes, now yes.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. It depends. It varies from a person to a person, but yeah.
In general, I think it's yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Chila? You've traveled quite some countries after your all those projects, and actually been living in another one for a year now. Do you consider a world to be a smaller place or a bigger place now for you?
Yeah, I somehow consider that, yeah, the world became a smaller place in general, especially, you know, like in the summer, we had a trip to Belgium, and it just happened that I met a volunteer there from 3 years ago. Just so it was the randomest thing in my life, you know, and I was like, this cannot happen, really, like, and she was from the Netherlands. And yeah, after having a few experiences like this, I think that the world became a smaller place. Yes, and yeah, what I had thought that yes, yeah, it's not what this project helps me to realize is that you know, in the world there are so many people, and everyone is living their life, and there is no good or bad way to do it, you know. And yeah, we are connected in many things, and yeah, that's really makes me open.
Thank you for your thoughts. Yeah, it was really nice for you to mention it, that yeah, there's no right or wrong on how you live your life, and this is clearly seen in all those chances of meeting new people that you see. Like, there are people who do it differently in every country, also in your country, and everything is fine. So you have all these options that maybe weren't there in your head before you entered one of these projects as well. Yeah. How about you, Vanessa and Danea? Do you also feel as the others, or is it something different for you too?
I'm waiting for Vanessa to answer. And she's waiting for me. No, I agree in general. I don't think I can add anything else. Really. Yeah. So the world has become a very small place.
Do you like it or not really?
I really like it. I like it. I enjoy experiencing new cultures. Some things you would not even consider about, you know, like going to Maltese Christmas market and drink chestnut Christmas drink was like a very interesting new experience for me. Yeah.
It was
So
a form of hot chocolate
yes.
with spices and chestnut in it.
Yeah. So getting to know not just new people, but new cultures and new languages, it's very exciting for me. And now that we have these cheap airplane tickets, you know, you can go anywhere you want and make friends.
And that's great.
Honestly, I think, I don't know, I'm sure that this is not the feelings of others necessarily, given that we still experience racism and so on. But this is the beauty of, we're so different. And this is the beauty of being human, you know, and to discover, to explore, to learn. And I do feel that we have become closer globally, and I'm very happy of that personally. But of course, for some people, this is also a scary thing. From my point of view, if you don't go out there, you're missing something in life, for sure. There is something that you can only obtain when you travel, when you get to know people and so on. And this is one of the reasons why I highly recommend, and I stick on continuing writing projects and collaborating with others, because this is the fruit, the impact that European projects do. And when you experience that as a young person, it opens so much possibilities and dreams. Just as we said, it's life-changing. In some way or another, it is life-changing. And I'm sure that we're 6 people here, but when I speak with other young people, they feel the same. And when they start, more often than not, they don't want to stop. Even I'm laughing because I'm remembering at my volunteer who was doing the European Solidarity Corps in Italy. Last time I met her online, she told me, I don't want to stop doing this. I'm looking for something else, to do voluntary something else. I told her, you know that you cannot do it through the European Solidarity Corps. Yes, she told me, but I'm exploring. So this is the impact, the huge impact that does on people's lives.
Yeah, I totally agree. So what would you say? What would be your advice to all those young people who still are in doubt or still aren't sure on whether to do it or not, or whether to enter their first international project or not? What would be your advice to those young people?
Just go.
Yeah, I would, you know what came into my mind? Because Malta now is, swimming season is open, but the water is still very cold. So to jump into it, you know, you come out freezing. So I would say it's definitely more easier than jumping into cold water, you know. And but jokes apart, there's so much to gain and very few losses from the experience, that you just have to do it and go with the flow. And you will realize, obviously, once you've done it, you will realize more the benefits out of the experience. But you have to take the leap and jump, you know. And
do others agree?
Yes, I agree, and say to everybody who is going to listen to this in future, because I see it's being recorded, that you should definitely, wherever, whenever, you should, even if it's I don't know, 7 days, 1 month, 2 months, 9 months, a year, whatever you like, definitely you should go, you should try it, you should, even the negative things, that the positives they outweigh everything that it's negative, you know. It's like you can think about, is pocket money, is it enough, or is it like will I integrate, or will I find anybody to hang, or I don't know. It's like, will the accommodation be good enough? But even if some of those things are not like top notch, everything else is going to outweigh those maybe negative things that you would think that are negative, and that they would like you are thinking of not going because of that, you know, because of these small things. So definitely go, and it would definitely change everybody's life, you know. Even if you Even if you have experience before, and even if you don't have, that's even then you have to go. You have to go.
Yes, it helps you grow a lot. And what I would recommend for those maybe that are hesitant and so on, there are material online to read, and finding the right organizations might help to maybe feel a little bit more secure. If you're working with the right organizations, even the difficulties, things will fall into their place, you know. So that would be my advice. But other than that, just go for it. Go for the adventure. The irony, you know what it is, that when I was younger, I didn't really knew, or maybe there wasn't so much promotion about voluntary work abroad and youth exchanges of the European Solidarity Corps. Now I'm writing projects. I really wish that in my time there was such opportunities. Maybe, I don't know, I could be somewhere else, living somewhere else maybe right now. I don't know where would life would have taken me. But speaking from an older generation, and who is now coordinating rather than being a participant, I would highly recommend such an experience in your youth.
Thanks,
Yes.
Vanessa, also for your feedback.
Yeah, I agree with everything that has been said. It's like nothing grows in the comfort zone, you know. So if you plan to live your life doing only the things that you know, well, in my opinion, it's going to be pretty boring. You have to do some things that scare you in order to grow. So yeah. And since I'm already talking, I also have to apologize. I have to go. Thank you for inviting me, and I really enjoyed it seeing you.
Thank you.
And hopefully,
yeah, we're planning on finishing in a minute anyway. I would just like to give Fatima another opportunity if she has any conclusion thoughts about the topic as well, or was everything said already?
Yeah, I think everyone said the same, and I just can say that I agree, and that everyone who is thinking about it, just go forward. We all said it was great, so we can not all be wrong. So I think everyone just should try. It will be a great experience. And thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, all of you, that you took the time on this Friday evening and share your thoughts and your experience with us. I'm sure that you inspired lots of young people who are not sure whether to do it or not, to at least try it, because it's actually it's so easy to get then addicted to it. And it's a good addiction, if we can say, for this thing. So yeah, thank you very much for being with us, and see you on another project.